I rise today to honor the memory of Lisette Denison IV, who is a remarkable but seldom celebrated figure in Michigan's history. She was the first African American woman to own land in the state of Michigan. Lisette Denison was born in 1786 as a slave in what is now Macomb County on the estate of William Tucker. After Tucker's death, she watched her parents gain their freedom, while she and her 5 siblings remained in the ownership of Tucker's wife. In a historic effort, the Denison family decided to sue for their freedom in a case that would be the first to set the legal parameters for slavery here in the state of Michigan. It was also one of the first times in U.S. history that slaves had taken their owners to court in pursuit of their freedom. The judge ruled against her family, saying that her youngest sibling could go free, but unfortunately left Lisette enslaved on a legal technicality. However, the judge later determined that any slave entering from Canada was automatically free. So Lisette and her brother escaped to Canada and returned to Detroit around 1815 as free people. Denison was then employed as a domestic worker for most of her remaining years. And though she never learned to read or write, she had acute business skills and penchant for investing. She saved her earnings, and on this day, April 12th, in 1825, purchased 48.5 acres of land in Pontiac, making her the first female African American to ever have done this in the state of Michigan. After a brief marriage to Scipio IV, Lisette found a job with Major John Biddle, the famous former congressman and 4th mayor of Detroit. She found close friendship in Biddle's wife, Eliza, and Lisette accompanied the family to Philadelphia and even to Paris for several years. As the years passed, Miss Denison IV continued to invest, buying stock in a steamboat, a bank, and a property in Detroit. By 1854, she had purchased her own home in the city. Upon her death in 1866, she willed that a portion of her life savings was to be used for the construction of a church. Her contribution provided the bulk of funds for St. James Episcopal Church on Groseal, which is celebrating its 150th anniversary this year. Lisette's story is one of bravery and triumph in the face of unimaginable hardship. She dared to dream that more was possible than the life she was born into. She escaped from slavery and broke through all the limitations society had imposed upon her as a single black woman to become a property owner, a savvy investor, and even a philanthropist. She paved the way against all odds, and despite the most difficult of circumstances, for African American women who came after her, and is a role model for all women in business and philanthropy. And in the midst of an oppressive society, she never stopped fighting for equality among the rich and poor. Even in death, she used her savings and her connections to build a space where people of all economic backgrounds could worship together. She was a trailblazer, a champion for economic justice, and a woman of immense faith. And so today, we remember and honor the extraordinary life of a woman whose story, though not often told, will continue to inspire us. It will inspire us to be brave, to dream, and to believe that anything is possible, and to never forget those who are struggling around us. My resolution today enshrines Lisette's legacy in the state of Michigan records by declaring April 12th, 2018 as Female African American Landowners Day in the hopes that her story will live on in history. I invite everyone to join me in making history by supporting this resolution today. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.